Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of He Said, a look at the world from a seasoned black man's perspective. I'm your host, Alvin King, and welcome to our Friday, February the 14th episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hope everyone's doing good. As always, it's been a very fast-paced week, but it is a holiday weekend for many people. As I think it is President's Day is on Monday, so a lot of you who get that day off will have Monday off. The weather here is going to be iffy on the East Coast, but whatever you have to do or will do, be safe out there and always take care of yourself. Um, it is Black History Month, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Black History Month all month. And I don't know about you guys, but I have been actually feeling attacked. This is the first Black History Month that I have been a part of that I can remember where I have used that word attacked. And Black History Month has taken on a new meaning for me. And I don't want to get into all of that, but happy Black History Month to everybody. You know what's going on in the world. And I'm just going to let you know at this time, keep your head up. All right. All right. If you're wondering why all this red is around me and on me and whatnot, it is Valentine's Day, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Uh, and hopefully you're having a great Valentine's Day. I don't want to put too much into it because some people like Christmas. Valentine's Day bring on, depression for a lot of people, as well as loneliness, because not everybody has a Valentine, to spend it with. But happy Valentine's Day to you. How you doing, Michelle? How you doing, Monica? This was an amazing week because the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And when I say beat, they beat them down last Sunday. I mean, I was, first of all, I had the pleasure of being a guest at a wonderful Super Bowl party weekend, and it was just absolutely incredible. Kudos to all of you who, hosted me. It was just a great time. And I mean, the Eagles came in and did the job that they set out to do. But the Philadelphia Eagles win in Super Bowl 59 will go down in NFL history for multiple reasons. First, it prevented the first ever NFL three-peat and provided the first Lombardi trophy for quarterback Jaden Hurts and Nick Sirianni, and the first most MVP for Hurts. But it was also a notable contest for historic firsts on the sidelines. Autumn Lockwood, the Eagles' associate sports performance coach, already made history in Super Bowl 58 when she became the first Black woman to coach in a Super Bowl. On Sunday, she made history once again as the first Black woman to be a Super Bowl champion. I am not mad at her for Black History Month. Um, I'm telling you, look, uh, Autumn, I am so proud of you. I just want to scream your name, and I'm so glad I have this opportunity to say your name because you are a winner, baby. Oh, RuPaul, don't come get me. But Autumn, congratulations to you and your Lombardi Trophy for Black History Month. This was very, very major for me to announce. And this weekend, with everything that's going on, we need a lot of laughter and a lot of joy, ladies and gentlemen. So I am pushing that you all see the SNL 50th anniversary show, which comes on tonight on Peacock. And it's a homecoming concert, a concert special that features the show's legacy of musical performances. And that is tonight at 8 o'clock. It's going to be on Peacock, hosted by Jimmy Fallon. And on Sunday, the second NSL 50 anniversary show or special is a TV special that pays tribute to the show and its creator, Lorne Michaels. And that will be on Sunday, February the 16th. Look, we need as much laughter and joy as we can get at this time, ladies and gentlemen. And hopefully tonight, me and the fellas, we're going to bring it to you. So if you all are ready, let's get on with the chat. Bobby, Shawn.
What's up?
Hello.
I'm looking mighty red over there.
Happy Valentine.
Happy Valentine's Day, gentlemen.
It's
Thank
good
you.
to see you. Love
Same
Day.
to you. Same to you. Same to you.
Love Day.
Look at him. He's giving all the. Can I say? I can't say it. Bobby was a cheerleader, and that every time you do that, that brings back cheerleader vibes to me. I just want to.
I was a varsity cheerleader at Howard University. You are absolutely correct.
Wow.
Yes, he was. Come on, Howard. Come on, Howard.
No.
Yes, he was. HU.
But I just, but I do want to say kudos again to it. May be winter, but we're gonna shout autumn. We're gonna give autumn her flowers right now. I love that. That's wonderful. That is so very special, and for it to happen during Black History Month, as you said, that's an incredible feat. So
that Black girl magic was needed, and I was so happy to hear that. I didn't know that, and I got a little tidbit that I heard about Jalen Hurt. He has an all-female management team.
All-female management team. Yep.
All female. And when he was questioned about it, which I had the pleasure of sharing this with a whole bunch of guys at the Super Bowl party, that they didn't know this. He said that they help him see perspective that men don't.
Come on now. Come on now.
I was so happy to hear that. But first of all, gentlemen, before we get started, we got some folks in here I haven't seen in a long time. We have Mr. Eric Shields is here from North Carolina. We said hello to Monica and Michi. Michelle is back.
Hello, everyone.
Lots of love. Lots of love.
And Dwayne is here from Chicago.
That takes me right into our first story about love. Because, of course, it is the day of love. And all I want you to know is that in 2025, love is going to cost you. So nothing says Valentine's Day like the traditional red long stem roses, a bouquet of these roses. It's the classic romantic gesture. But what I found out by doing a little bit of research, I looked up with Finance Information Resource, which Finance Buzz is the name of it. They are saying they did an analysis on a standard cost of a dozen long stem red roses. Now, the national average this year, and of course, it's a bit inflated because it's Valentine's Day. When prices are at a premium, the average price for long stem red roses, you guys have any idea what it might be?
For a dozen, you say?
For 2 dozen or a dozen?
Average for a dozen.
For a dozen long stem roses.
Average.
$75.
I'm going to say $175.
Oh my God. Well, first of all, we know you, Mr. King, and where you it is $90. So Shawn is a little closer to it. And again, that is the average, but hold on, because in addition to that, Finance Buzz was also good about finding out. So where are the most expensive roses to be found in the nation, and where the most affordable? So the highest state, Hawaii, at 143, which is a lot closer to what Alvin was saying. So if you were in Hawaii and you bought roses, long stem roses, that's what you'd pay, Alvin. Followed by Texas at $110, and the state of Washington at $106. Now, where do you guys think the most affordable roses might be? What state might give you the most affordable roses?
California.
Bingo. California, it is. And they are $68.33, followed by Indiana, $74.33, and Alaska at $75. So the cost of love is not cheap.
It's better on the West Coast, it sounds like.
Okay? Yeah, it is.
It's in terms of, spending money. But let me say, you all, Bobby he tried to do this every now and then. I am very frugal. And the only reason why I said $195 is because—
Oh, do tell us. Yes.
Because mine typically come with a vase. And so, you know what I'm saying? They don't just lay in a box. So I need them to have a keepsake. So that's why I said that.
Are you refuting my point, or are you confirming my point? Mine come in a vase. They can't lie in a box. I think you're confirming exactly what I was saying.
Well, sometimes you only get one time to make an impression.
In fact, you only get you get one shot to make a first impression.
One shot.
Yes, you do. Correct.
You get one shot. So I tend to go for the gut. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to like me, I want you to love me also. Okay. So I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't mean to take y'all on that road. Okay. But happy Valentine. Bobby, that was very good. That was some good reporting.
I thought you guys were like a little quiz in the beginning of the show. Now it takes me to the next story. I actually have the next one. this one, of course, is not quite as fun and cheerful as my first story. But this one is, in response to some of the most recent presidential executive orders. I'm sad to say that the Google Calendar has joined the bandwagon and really started to adhere to some of these changes that are being prompted and pushed. Google Calendar has decided to remove references to Pride, Black History Month, cultural recognitions in general. Women's History Month, all cultural events are now being removed from the Google Calendar. And it's actually a little disappointing because as someone who spends a lot of time working around issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I want to say just at the start, I'm pushing people to say those words, to not allow people to always use the acronym, because the acronym lets them get out with this DEI notion. Make them say diversity, equity, inclusion. What is it that you are opposed to? The diversity, equity, or inclusion? If we're going to call it out. So Google Calendar is stopping right now all of the recognition of the cultural recognitions. And it's just, it's disappointing to me. But they are joining the bandwagon under the pressure of 47, because like you all know, I don't like saying his name. But any thoughts on that, guys?
I think it's quite disturbing. And I hope that next month we won't see St. Patrick's Day in my Google Calendar.
That's a very good point. That's
a very good one.
Now, can you pick that mic up and drop it again, please? Can you pick the mic up and just drop it one more time? Because I don't think they heard it.
I got a pen.
Okay.
No, it's disturbing because next month is, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
And will that be on the calendar? I guess we can look right now and check, but.
Or will it be acknowledged by the president?
Well, I was gonna say I'll be watching, but we know that because that's the Irish, and the Irish are part of white America, that holiday, which is technically not a federal holiday, will be acknowledged.
It'd be interesting. And of course, Women's History Month was removed as well. So again, I think people are being alerted to the notion. I think a lot of people bought into the notion that diversity, equity, inclusion primarily focused on race, and that the only people would be impacted would be Black and brown people for the most part. And I think there is this sense of shock among America right now as you look at some of these people who've lost their jobs because of some of the decisions that are being made. I think the reality of it is some of them are sitting there in shock going like, we thought it was going to be them, and it's actually ending up impacting us as well.
And so, Bobby, I want to make sure that I understand what you're saying, what Google is doing. So things like anything that's related to Black history or Juneteenth or anything, and I mean I'm naming primarily African American or Black events.
It is my understanding that recognitions of cultural celebrations like Black History Month, Women's History Month, Pride, those month-long types of activities, or those that really kind of focus on, again, diversity, equity, inclusion, are likely to not be included.
Well, again, St. Patrick's Day and Ash Wednesday.
Oh, you would.
I said likely, so we'll have to see.
Well, and with
the big months will not be a part of the Google Calendar, apparently.
I know we haven't had anyone from the organization or had a story about it, but I want to know, with World Pride coming to Washington, D.C. this year.
It's going to be very interesting. And we're working on
it. Very, very interesting to see what this administration does to halt that, because I don't know how much government influences in what's happening, but it will be on government property.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you pointed that out, Alvin, because I want people to understand that normally, annually, around the country, throughout major cities, there are pride celebrations and parades. But I really want people to understand this is World Pride. We are talking millions of people who will descend on Washington, D.C. in celebration of Pride. And so I agree with you. I think it's going to be a really interesting situation, and one that I don't think is going to go without pushback.
Well, before that, remember, we have DC's Gay Black Pride Festival.
Yes.
Pride is in June. Yes. DC's Black Pride is in May.
Correct. Both of them. But Pride anywhere this year. Like I said early when I opened the show, I said Happy Black History Month, but I feel under attack again, as a Black person, as a Black gay male, I feel under attack. And it's anyway, a lot will be unfold. Um, and I'm gonna say trouble don't last.
And who's in control?
And who's in control?
There
Who
you
is in control? Trouble don't last. Well, Bobby, you opened up, you talked about expensive flowers. Well, we all saw Beyonce get those 2 awards.
Yes.
Country Album of the Year and then Album of the Year at
Yep.
the Grammys. Well, she also announced her new show, Country Carter. Country Carter. Her new show that actually will be Cowboy Carter. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Beehive, don't throw a shoe at me. Don't do it.
I'm ducking. I'm ducking.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Cowboy Carter. The tickets went on sale this week, and the fans are pissed because the ticket prices are, they saying that they're high. Okay, first of all, if you are a Beehive fan like me, you go to pre-sale. You know the drill. You go to pre-sale and you do what you got to do to get in line. But when they went to pre-sale, there were 78,000 people in front of some people who went to pre-sale.
Oh.
That's how in demand that the tickets are. When we talk about Beyonce ticket prices, they've never been cheap. Yeah. They've never been cheap. I'm not going to talk about the cheapest Beyonce ticket price that I've ever paid, but it wasn't what they are now. And right now, ticket prices, I went online, they were starting at $71 to $800. But after Ticketmaster got involved and the demand kicked in, which people don't understand, there's something called a dynamic pricing. And that is a pricing model that dictates the demand and decide the ticket prices. The tickets went up to $3,000. Okay. And people are complaining and they're getting online and crying and talking about they don't think they can afford the tickets. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some of y'all couldn't afford the Renaissance tickets. So I'm be honest. Because I know I couldn't afford the Renaissance ticket.
I know I couldn't.
So
I saw Renaissance in the movie theater and I paid, I think it was like $35. I went in, I got the surround sound and all that kind of stuff. And I thought I had an extraordinary seat.
Right.
I was comfortable the whole time.
Right. The only thing they didn't have in the theater was a porta john because you sat there for 3 hours and you ain't want to get up to leave. Okay. Yeah. So you did not want to leave, but to Bobby's point, the ticket was $35. So, hey, Cowboy Carter is coming, and Beyonce. I know for all of you who are complaining, you're gonna buy a ticket anyway. You're gonna find a way to buy a ticket, but they are very expensive.
Given the uncertainty of people's jobs right now, given this government and all that's going on, that people are going to shell over. I mean, the average person. If you're wealthy, you're going to be wealthy. But I'm talking about there are people that I know when it came to that last concert, sacrificed some fundamental things that they were supposed to be taking care of in order to be at the concert, not to mention getting that silver outfit to go and all of that. And I just find it really amazing that people can complain about the cost of eggs, which are expensive, and yet somehow find hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go see someone in concert.
And take your kids.
That's priorities.
Yeah. How about that? Yeah. Ladies, Shawn and Bobby, we have some folks to join on. Raw Health, thank you for being here. Thank you for that compliment. 3 handsome brothers in red. Appreciate it. Shawn and Bobby coordinated it, and so I'm happy about that. JJ, thank you for being here tonight and showing us some love. Kendall, thank you for joining us tonight. And Rodney Bryant, my soul brother, what did he have to say? He said it was reported today that the T in LGBT has been removed from the Stonewall Monument website.
Yeah, there is as you were talking about being attacked and feeling attacked, the transgender community is a target right now. And they have literally removed at the Stonewall Monument website, the Stonewall Monument, like transgender, like the founder, like the person who inspired Stonewall was a transgender Black woman.
Yeah, Marsha P. is her name.
Marsha P. Yes.
Why did they allow them to do that? What that's my first question.
I agree with you, Alvin. Like,
why and who's a part of Stonewall?
Yeah.
Allowed that to happen. That's some homework in the making for me.
I would imagine, and I could be wrong, but I would imagine it is probably tied to funding. If they receive funding in any way from the government, they've been instructed that they have to take these. I have friends who work for government agencies who have spent the last week and a half rewriting aspects of their websites and all of that to take out words like diversity, equity, inclusion, literally because they will lose the funding. And if they don't do it, if they try to stand for that, they would lose the funding for all of the other initiatives that they have. And so some of them are feeling the pressure and the necessity to cave in order to save the program.
The program.
Yeah, exactly. Because PBS also just removed DI from its website and its efforts going forward. PBS.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is shocking to me. Charles Dodson, he had a comment about Beyonce. He said, nothing against Beyonce, but I don't want to hear anyone complaining about egg prices, but we're going to spend hard-earned money on her concert tickets. Charles, you get my vote. Okay, how about that? And Rodney just confirmed that the Stonewall is a national monument. So
that's the federal funding.
Federal funding. Yep. My Lord, my Lord. It doesn't stop, does it?
No,
it doesn't.
It's not going to stop. And I wonder how the federal employees are going to pay for those Beyonce tickets or the price of eggs when they don't have a job or place to go, at least for some of them, because some of them have been trying to take the 7-month severance that the White House has offered them. And some of them are finding out that, oops, I don't qualify because I'm considered an essential employee. So now they are stuck. And of course, we know that a judge just ruled, basically persuaded the federal workers that they can move forward with this idea of making federal employees resign. And this is what's crazy to me about this whole story. To me, for those folks who are wanting or have taken this 7-month severance, it reminds me of that very popular Netflix show called Squid Game. And you remember that in this game, people were trying to win basically billions of dollars. Okay. And it got me thinking that people have their priorities wrong. Even today at the barbershop, I'm hearing the barber talk about, if the orange man came in, would you give him a haircut? Even if he paid you $10,000. And all the guys in the barbershop says, yes, I'll give him a haircut. I don't have to like the man. I don't like his spots. I didn't vote for him. But if he wants a haircut for 10 grand, sure, I'll do it. And I thought, this is exactly, again, what Squid Game was all about. People are choosing money over something that is more important, like their long-term life, if you will. And remember, in Squid Game, guess what happened to all the characters?
I didn't see it, so tell me, what happened?
They died, all but one. All the characters were killed because they chose, in other words, to take a lottery ticket, hoping they'll win something versus food that will sustain them for life. And that's where I feel we are right now in society. I feel like in this country, we are in Squid Game, where we are hoping to win this big prize that's actually temporary versus let's really getting what we really need to have a sustainable society for all people. And what this and so what this judge did for the Orange Man administration, I think we're going to see this play out. I hate to say this, but I don't think people are going to literally die. But I do think that those who are taking these buyouts, if they can, I think in 8 months, they're going to regret it. And they're going to basically be somewhat spiritually dead, if you will.
I think we will definitely see suicide and depression on the rise.
It's going to be
It's going to be significant, and it may not be, all Black people, because believe me, white folk they don't know how to deal with some of the trauma and stress that we deal with at all, because we've been dealing with it a long time. And just because we've been dealing with it don't mean that we want it, but we know how to deal with some stuff.
Yes.
So
privilege can shelter you from a lot of things.
Yeah.
Hardships. Yeah.
How about that? Thank you, Shawn. Thank you. Oh man, I'm sorry. That whole your story, Shawn, about people taking the buyouts, it is really hitting home. I was telling the guys, ladies and gentlemen, backstage, I know people who are being affected by this. And it's like hitting home. It's so close and it's terrible. And there's nothing that, at least in my immediate vision, that we can do. So thank you, Shawn, for sharing that story with us tonight. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, we're talking about the government, and I'm going to keep it rolling. Right now, we're going back to the DOGE, of course, the Department of Government Efficiency, and a recent release of information by the State Department. It's the State Department procurement forecast. Now, one of the amazing things about this list was that a consumer watchdog agency located at an interesting line item in terms of the State Department's potential procurement. It states that it is likely that the government will spend an approximate $400 million on armored Teslas. 400 million. Now, the person who founded Tesla, I don't like saying his name either.
Yeah, right.
Is of course, this special advisor to the president.
Well, Bobby, I'm sorry. Actually, Musk did not found Tesla.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, he purchased it. He purchased stock to become the majority stockholder,
and then took it over. You are absolutely right. I stand corrected. But the person who leads Tesla is certainly supposed to be cleaning up inefficiency. And here he stands to make who knows how much money if there is a contract for $400 million. Now, the interesting thing is, if we can just go back to that other picture, it's interesting that the whole notion of these cars being used as armored vehicles. Now, they may look like armored vehicles, but one of the things that you have to remember, this was from the initial shareholders reveal of this vehicle. And one of the things they talked about was the indestructible glass that was a part of this vehicle. And so this person took this stone and threw it at the glass, and this is what happened.
It shattered.
It shattered in front of the shareholders. Indestructible. This is exactly what happened. The glass and the stone. $400 million from the State Department. So in addition to it being a car that perplexes me in terms of its aesthetic and its design, it is not that I even saw here in the district, Alvin and Shawn, you might have seen with this recent snowstorm that we had, those vehicles were getting stuck.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes.
We were getting stuck in the snow.
Yeah.
So we're talking about $400 million. Yes, Shawn, on an ugly car that you plug in. I agree with you. $400 million on a car that is clearly not indestructible.
Yes.
Here
it's a scam. It's a scam.
It's absurd, and we're in danger. We're in danger, y'all. Okay, we are definitely
like Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost. Girl, you're in danger.
We're in danger. And if you all didn't know that we're in danger, and if being in danger was a picture, it happened on Tuesday when Elon Musk was in the Oval Office in the most humiliating scene that any president I've ever seen or have ever imagined any sitting U.S. president was in. When he stood in that Oval Office with his son on Tuesday, with the Orange Man, and they defended their efforts to enact a sweeping changes to the federal government and limit spending. This person is not even an official. And he's in the office standing next to the president of the United States leading the meeting while his son is in the office cursing at the president and using cuss words.
I heard he dropped the F-bomb.
He dropped the F-bomb in front of the president and was just, first of all, double standards. Who brings their kids to a presidential briefing, or who does
in the Oval Office?
In the Oval Office, who does that? And for somebody who's one of the richest persons in the world, you don't have a babysitter. You can't get a daggone babysitter to watch that kid who probably heard you say what he said in that office. He only repeated what he said. That was one of the most disgusting scenes or things that I saw on TV that made me stop watching TV for 2 days.
It's disturbing, and people got to realize that this man, Musk, was an illegal immigrant. Let me repeat that again. He was an illegal immigrant.
Right.
Okay. People forget that.
Correct.
Okay. And so now you have an individual who has apparently told his young son that that man sitting at that desk is not the president, because that little boy did repeat that and say that. Okay.
He repeated it.
And so let's look at American history.
And the president deserved it.
And he deserved it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't recall any private citizen ever giving a press conference from the White House, Oval Office.
Ever. And I'm not even one of those people who study politics. I know that has never happened.
No,
okay.
It doesn't
happen.
No.
And Rodney Bryan said, baby, they are doing this in our faces. The administration isn't given a court order the time of the day. You're absolutely right. Right. And Michelle, look at her. See y'all done got her started. Alvin, it's optics. It's a distraction. They want you to buy into the foolery. This is why he was there. Yeah. And I know that. It's
called flooding the zone is what they got. They keep putting all these crazy, insane things in front of us to keep us distracted from what's going on over there.
I agree with her 100% because it is foolery. And we're seeing that play out right here in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
As some of you all know, this man also this week, or was it last week, he signed an executive order. And this order is called the Bowser Act, if you will. And DC is what we call home rule. And so prior to DC getting a home rule, I think it was like in 1981, 1979, something like that, DC was under a control board, which meant that the city was basically being run by Congress. So there are Republicans on the House side and the Senate side who want to take DC back to the control board versus us having our own autonomy when it comes to running our city, this beautiful city. And so the Orange Man is using this act to say that DC is riddled with crime and that the mayor is a very corrupt mayor. And therefore, we should get rid of home rule and put it back under Congress. And this is foolery. Again, and I did have the luxury of talking to Councilmember Zachary Parker earlier this week, and he said with confidence, it's not going to happen. But again, I don't think we should take things like this lightly, because this city has fought very, very, very hard to get to where it is. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, there's still some issues in terms of gentrification, and a lot of Black folks on the east side of the river, wards 8 and 7, aren't getting their just desserts the way that folks are on the west side of the city. Mm-hmm. But this whole thing about putting us under a control board, it would not be good, because they would mean that we would lose control over our police department.
Absolutely.
Our fire department. Some agencies will probably be reduced in size, which means people will be laid off. It would be a disaster for a city that has become a world-class city. So for those of you who don't live in DC and you come here for tourism and you see all the monuments, please know that there are 750,000 people that actually live in this city. And we are residents without a vote in Congress.
Absolutely. And these are agencies that you mentioned that the president would love to be able to control. These are like to be able to work at his disposal. And so that, yeah, it is beyond scary. And in a world where law and order exist, well, it's unlikely that he could ever do it. But there is an unraveling of law and order.
Yes, and people don't know that DC already has about 17 different law enforcement departments.
Yes.
Not just the DC Police Department, but we have like about 17 different law enforcement departments in this city of 750,000 people. Think about that. Yeah. No state even has 17 different police departments. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, the result of the government being here. Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, these are our top stories, and we wanted to find a way that we could actually, in giving you our top stories, to also be a resource to you. And I actually am coming in after Shawn with something that I changed it up because I wanted to talk to you all about the Orange Man's executive orders regarding and these tariffs that he's doing. So first of all, I want everybody to get educated, like I had to, about the definition of a tariff. And that is a tax imposed by one country on the goods and services imported from another country to influence it, raise revenues, or protect competitive advantages. And what I was going to do today was tell you all what you need to do to protect yourselves while he is talking with Canada, Mexico, and China, or whatever I won't say talking to them, actually approaching them about tariffs. But Donald Trump's recent imposition on tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China and other nations is poised to affect American consumers in several ways. And I just wanted to give you like 5 different ways, rather than tell you how to protect yourself. I want to educate you on how it's going to affect you with what he's trying to do. And first of all, there's going to be an increase in consumer prices. And these tariff acts are taxes on imported goods and leading to higher costs for businesses and often pass these expenses onto consumers. So that's one, increased consumer prices. Higher food and beverage costs is going to be, a concern with these tariffs that he's trying to impose. Tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, the prices on various foods and drink products are expected to rise. When he told us that he was going to, reduce our food costs, lies. Increased energy prices. Tariffs on Canadian energy imports, including 10% tariffs on crude oil, are likely to raise gasoline prices. Our gas prices are about to go up. Potential job market impacts, which we already know. Yep. Industries reliant on imported materials such as manufacturing and agriculture may face increased production costs due to these tariffs. And last but not least, economy. Uncertainty and inflation. It's going to happen. What he's doing is really causing chaos for all of us. So in summary, while the intended goal of these tariffs is to protect domestic industries and address trade imbalances, they may also lead to increased costs for consumers, us, affecting various aspects of daily life from grocery bills to energy expenses and employment opportunities. I just wanted to share that with you because you guys, you've got to be focused, do your homework, know about these tariffs and what's coming down the line so that you can prepare to protect yourself emotionally, financially, in any way possible that you can, because they're terrible.
Absolutely. You can issue a tariff against another country, but you are unrealistic if you don't think that there are implications of them indeed returning with tariffs for us as well. And as someone, as you guys know, I'm in the process of renovating and furnishing a home. I am very grateful because I just had to purchase a lot of appliances, like 2 refrigerators, 4 toilets, dishwashers, washer and dryers, 2 units, and so forth. And it was not an inexpensive venture, but I can only imagine what it would cost once all of this kicks in. So
Correct.
it's very real. It's very real.
Yes,
Thank
and Bobby,
you.
I was going to Bobby say that about your home, and I'm glad that you did that because I love LG appliances. I put LG in my home. I mean the range, the refrigerator, I mean everything, and that's a South Korean product. It's a very good product, and it wasn't inexpensive like you said to begin with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
one of the top brands out there from South Korea.
Yeah.
Good luck, folks.
Yeah.
Well,
Use
Shawn,
that Beyonce money to buy your appliances.
I've been sharing pictures of the Renault with the fellas, so they.
So we're going to wrap up our top stories. I know we have a feel good story that we need to get into. Let's do that.
It's been a long time coming, but I wanted to share some news about the recent $10 million settlement in the Sonia Massey shooting case. And some of you may remember Sonia Massey, the 36-year-old Black woman, resident of Illinois, who called the police last summer for assistance. She was ultimately shot and killed in her home as she held a pot of boiling water. She was experiencing an emotional breakdown. She contacted the police in July as she was concerned about a suspected prowler outside of her home. Sheriff Deputy Shawn Grayson is the white officer who showed up and encountered Massey inside. He pointed out that she had this water in her hand, and with a sudden movement, she actually ducked down. Massey was shot 3 times by Grayson, and Grayson was charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and an unofficial conduct. So he's pleaded not guilty, and he remains in jail today. So it's an example of the source of the fear and the distrust among many people of color and law enforcement. That here was a woman who she reached out to the police, very concerned about a prowler outside of her home, and ultimately, even in her mental state where she was having this episode, she ended up dead, shot 3 times in her home. And I would think the fact that this officer, because we know they often are not convicted of this type of behavior, the fact that he remains in jail and that family received a $10 million settlement, which is a large sum for any jurisdiction, but certainly for this very small area, is very telling about some of the things that must have happened in terms of official conduct or misconduct on the part of this officer.
Well, that's a good story. Thank you. Let's wrap it up on a good note. You know what I'm saying? Even though we can't bring Miss Massey back, but justice prevails, and at least her family has received something, some type of comfort. Okay.
Yeah. And as you said, it will never replace Sonia Massey, but we speak her name, and we are pleased that her family will receive some type of compensation for this act of injustice.
Well, we got some entertainment news. Let's go.
We got entertainment news. I'm back on again, folks. I'm rolling tonight. So, those of us here in the District of Columbia and around the country, you've heard it. But for those of us here who have access to this facility, this is a story that's kind of upsetting for us. Some of you may have heard that the president has decided to do some reshuffling with one of the major entertainment venues here in the District of Columbia. He has reshuffled the advisory board, asked the president of the John F. Kennedy Center to step down, and the chairman, reshuffled the board, and the board has now named him the chairman of the John F. Kennedy Center Performing Arts Center, which, again, if you know this city and you know us, you know this is one of our favorite classic, beautiful venues. I was just there last Sunday to see the Alvin Dance Theater. Now, there has been some pushback as a result of this reshuffling. As I said, Chair Deborah Rutter is no longer as as president. The chairman, David Rubenstein, who is a huge philanthropic force in the city, has stepped down from being chair. And others, including philanthropist Reggie Van Lee, opera singer Renee Fleming, and Shonda Rhimes, whom we all know from all of her success on television and movies. They have all stepped down, resigned from being members of the board. And most recently, I saw in the news yesterday that comedian Issa Rae canceled her sold out shows that were supposed to happen next month, she has canceled them and saying she will not perform at the Kennedy Center under these conditions. So there's that, and we are really just, it's really unfortunate. As I said, Kennedy Center it's a national treasure of a performing arts. And I'm sure some of you who don't live in the area have probably seen the Kennedy Center honors and so forth. It's a phenomenal facility. And my fear, and I hate to state it here on our show, but my fear is that someone is aiming to take the name Kennedy off that building and put another on that building. I really, and with a new board that is supporting him, the likelihood of it happening is real. And when I say it would break my heart, it would really break my. I fear I may have seen ALA at the center at Kennedy Center for the last time.
Perhaps it is. Again, we're in danger, and you know this is really a. I thank God for my 66 years of being on this earth that I've enjoyed the Kennedy Center for over 50 years.
Yeah.
As it was. And so I'm, you know, to see all this come to fruition is just absolutely incredible. But ladies and gentlemen, we talked about the Super Bowl that happened last Sunday. And believe me, people are still talking about it. And we want to get it, but we want to wrap up tonight in our entertainment with some of the Super Bowl highlights that happened. Of course, before the the halftime, there were some performances that we want to talk about quickly. Let Us See performed the Black National Anthem, and she got some kickback for it. Let Us See, first of all, as far as I'm concerned, she can sing the encyclopedia. You know, she came in, she turned out personally. Her stylist it wasn't a hit for me, but I will take the voice over fashion any day for what she did. I was not impressed with the look, but that's just me and my fashion sense. Anything you all want to add to that before I move on to the next highlight? Anything y'all want to say real quick?
You said it perfectly.
Okay. Bob, anything you want to say?
She can sing a phone book. I will say that. You guys know I boycott the NFL, so I didn't see it and I didn't watch it, but I heard her vocal performance was extraordinary.
She's extraordinary. She did what she needed to do. And then we had John Baptiste, who came to sing. He sang the Star Spangled Banner, and he did it in a very Louisiana kind of way, which I thought was just absolutely incredible. I gave him kudos. I don't know a lot of his music, but he's definitely Grammy Award winning artist. He's a genius.
Yes.
But I like what he did, and so those were the highlights before the game and the halftime show. Okay. All right.
Well, I would say this. I don't watch football. I haven't watched football in many years. I have not seen Super Bowl in many years. That includes the halftime show. But I did go back and watch Mr. Kendrick Lamar perform. And let me say this first. My first career was journalism, and I was an arts and entertainment writer. So I covered the arts, and I interviewed many celebrities, many recording artists and actors, if you will. And I always felt like I had an ear. I said, you know what? That person's going to be a star. That person's good. So I don't know anything about Kendrick Lamar, but I saw the performance and I thought, okay, this is a game changer. This is good. Okay. We all have been in many cities around this country and gone to Black communities. And to see those guys we see on the street corners wearing their white shirts with the blue jeans, they were there. To see those guys we see on the streets in DC and they have grills in their teeth, they were in this performance, okay? To see the Black women who were in various body shapes, they were in this performance. So I thought this was unapologetically Black. And you know what? I loved it. I don't care what anyone says about it. People say that, oh, his music wasn't this, his music wasn't that. It was Black. It was blackity black.
But,
I was wondering if you were going to go there.
How black was it, Shawn?
It was blackity black.
Blackity black. No, he came in and did what he had to do, even in the midst of me not understanding any of his words that he was saying. Thank God for caption, because I put caption on the TV And that's how the next day, and that's how I understood all of his what he had to say. But the performance from a production, I'm a production guy. The performance was stellar. There was nobody tripped over their feet, nobody slipped on skates. They didn't do all, everything moved to me. And I know some people will say, Alvin, you're lying, but it was like watching a seamless image go across the stage.
Wow.
It was well done. Well done.
Lots of symbolism there. Yes.
Simple and to the point.
Well done. And I got to give him kudos. He brought some special entertainers. First of all, SZA was great, but Samuel L. Jackson, his presentation on stage as Uncle Sam, baby, if that didn't take me home, as the moment I saw him come on stage, I said, this right here is going to change all of our lives and probably cause the president of the United States to ban all Black performances from the Super Bowl moving forward.
Yeah. I think there was great symbolism. And obviously his name is Samuel Jackson, so he actually is a Sam. But given the historic image of Uncle Sam and who has played Uncle Sam, the very last person that I assumed that the president thought would ever come out at the Super Bowl, arguably one of the largest audiences in the world, representing America as Uncle Sam, would be Samuel L. Jackson.
And again, what actor is more, I hate to say this, but you'll get it. What actor is more Black than Samuel L. Jackson?
Blackity black.
House's own.
There you have it. There you have it. Yeah. So kudos to him for bringing, Samuel L. Jackson on. The statement was made. You guys, if you haven't seen it, look at the performance. Put your caption on. If you don't understand, you may not understand all of Kendrick Lamar's words, but when you put captions on, you'll see his point. You will get where he went. Guaranteed.
One of the other things that people are also talking about was the choice by Kendrick Lamar in terms of what he had on, and in particular, those jeans. They have been flying off the shelves. They are from French luxury fashion house Celine. They are the Marco jeans. They are in dark union wash denim, and they are flying off the shelves at the cost of $1,200. Now, Kendrick Lamar has been involved in a partnership with Celine since 22, and it's been thriving. Now, an interesting point that some may not know, because many have talked about the fit around the thighs, the assets that he showed off, if you will, during the performance. But one of the things that many people were not aware of, he made a choice and opted for the size 29 in women's fit is what he had on.
Wow.
I'm all about. Look, if it. Thank you, LA. LA said it was a great show. Thank you, LA. And please stay with us, ladies and gentlemen, because Bobby has a special presentation for you all before we leave. We're going to wrap up our entertainment news pretty soon on our Let's Get Newsy. But no, he wore the jeans well. He wore the jeans well, and Rodney said, didn't understand a word, but I want those jeans. And if y'all know Rodney like I know Rodney, Rodney's gonna find them jeans. Okay. He's gonna find those jeans. But
you can get them, but like those roses, you're gonna pay.
you're definitely gonna pay for them. And to close out Kendrick Lamar's presentation, he brought on Serena Williams to do her, that dance that she did. It's called a crip walk.
Crip walk.
It's called a crip walk. And a couple of things. A lot of people try to use the story around her dissing Drake while she was there. They did that. Then you got Stephen A. Smith, this commentator, who talked about if that was his husband, his wife, he would have a problem with her, being up there doing what she did about some ex-boyfriend, when really that wasn't what it was even about. And Serena's husband, Alex Ohanian, came back at Stephen and basically told him, mind your business. I got this. Okay. And when he said, I got this, he's like, I got this. Okay. So you don't worry about it. But ladies and gentlemen, the whole premise for her being there to do what she did, and Kendrick Lamar giving her that platform was because when she did it at Wimbledon, when she won a Grand Slam, the white folks tried to ban her from the sport, said it was inappropriate. That's why he brought it back and said, you do this. It wasn't about Drake. You all, but it wasn't about Drake. She was proving a point, and she, if you follow Serena Williams, she said that whole performance gave her life again after what she went through for doing that dance. And that's how we're going to close.
It might have been about Drake, but the connection to Drake still is there because she dated Drake, and so
well, but see,
she performed with the person that right now is his arch enemy. All I'm saying is, I'm sure it impacted Drake. It may not have had to do anything with him, but I'm sure it impacted him.
Okay, look, see, okay, he said you all. Okay, that's what we are. I don't even want to put Drake in the equation because it was bigger than him.
It
was bigger than Drake.
I do believe that
it was so bigger than Drake, and so I'm like,
we need some black excellence to get to anyway. So.
Serena, live, crip walk all you want. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for enduring us on for our Let's Get Newsy, our top stories, and our social media and entertainment. We appreciate you so much for that. Thank you so much. And I'm going to turn this over to Bobby because it is Black History Month. And we said for every episode, we wanted to do a Black excellence. And so let's go to Black excellence.
Okay. Before I begin, I just want to start with these words. Bleach blonde, bad built body. You would literally have to be living under a rock to not know have heard at least once these words that went viral on social media and inspired many video parodies and even a number of songs and even remixes. The phrase was part of a confrontational exchange between Representative Jasmine Crockett and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene during a House Oversight and Accountability Committee hearing. Greene launched a personal attack suggesting to Crockett, your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're reading. The comment was not ruled in violation of congressional protocol. It was then that Crockett asked, as a point of understanding and of that ruling and clarification, so if someone on this committee then starts talking about someone's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct? But she is so much more than a viral clip. Jasmine Felicia Crockett was born to Pastor Joseph and Gwen Crockett in St. Louis, Missouri in 1981. She is an attorney, a politician, as United States Representative from Texas, a graduate of the University of Houston Law Center in 2006. She was a successful public defender who took pro bono cases for Black Lives Matter activists. She is a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Jasmine Crockett has certainly made a name for herself as a fearless advocate, unafraid to call out hypocrisy and defend progress with sharp wit and an unapologetic voice. Her background as a civil rights attorney and her deep understanding of policy set her apart as one of the most well-informed and articulate members of Congress. In a political climate where efforts to roll back civil rights gains, affirmative action, and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives are increasingly bold, her willingness to speak up and to speak out is more necessary than ever. Whether through her fiery floor speeches, her viral moments, or direct public advocacy, Crockett embodies the kind of leadership that refuses to be silenced in the face of injustice. Representative Jasmine Felicia Crockett is Black excellence.
All right.
Well, I'm sorry. She can speak at all of my events. I don't care. She just needs to say hi, and I will get my life. Money paid. No, Bobby, that was excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, you guys have been commenting on the show, and I just want to thank you all again. I'm gonna do a roll call. Kendall, Rose, Charles, Michelle, Shawn, Dwayne, Angela, Sir Benjamin, Rodney, LA, Let me see. Let me see who else is on here. Raw Health. I want to thank you all for being on the show tonight. There's so many other places you could have been. And for those of you we can't see, because I know you here, Eric Shields, I want to thank you for being on the show tonight.
Amen.
For our Get Newsy, this was great, ladies and gentlemen. And we cannot close without giving you all our words of the week. And this week for Black History isn't a separate history. This is all of our history. This is American history. We need to understand that. It has such an impact on kids and their values and how they view Black people. And this was a quote from Karen Parsons, ladies and gentlemen, and it could not be more true. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you everywhere, especially my boys right here, my guys, my dudes. How y'all doing? Happy Valentine's Day to you. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, again for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of He Said.
He said.
He said.
He said. Keep it red. Okay.
We love you. Good to one another.
Ciao.
Have a good. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.